Warning, the following program contains language which may be offensive to some. Listener discretion is advised. Hey Martha, can I have some more ketchup for my freedom fries?
Ok, t'es prêt, Georges?
Prêt.
Et le technicien à la censure?
Ouais.
I'm again about town in St. John's right now, coming to you live from H2O Rue.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Colleen de la Puissance.
Yes.
Et je suis ici ce soir avec Jim Fidler et Lillian Fidler à Aaron's Pub, ici à Saint-Jean-Terre-Neuve.
E je danse in the autopool.
Sono lieto di poter rievocare in poche parole le esperienze delle prime trasmissioni radiotelegrafiche a grandi distanze da me felicemente eseguite attraverso l'Oceano Atlantico il 12 dicembre 1901.
Holy snapping bra straps. It's a podcast. Republic of Avalon Radio. It's 0 hours, Avalon Standard Time.
Bonjour Jim, ici Jean-Guy Bruno de Montebello, au Québec, dans la belle province. Alors je voulais simplement prendre quelques minutes pour souhaiter un très joyeux 14 juillet à tous les Français. Voilà, bonne fête à tous. Jean-Guy Bruno à Montebello, VE2ZZT, 73 88. Bye bye.
Bonjour tout le monde, ici Yves Séguin, au nom des auditeurs de Republic of Avalon Radio. Je désire souhaiter de joyeuses célébrations à tous les Français et à tous les francophiles à l'écoute.
Hello there, here is MC from the VDC Scene From Here podcast, podcasting from Montreal. You are right now listening to the Republic of Avalon Radio podcast.
Republic of Avalon Radio.
The best radio in the whole wide world.
You're with the Roar! Republic of Avalon Radio. You're with the Roar. I'm Jim Fidler, and this is episode 55 of the Roar. Yes, we have a pair of fives. We were one shy of a full deck in episode 51. I think last episode I mentioned two more, which actually includes the Jokers. So that's what the last episode was. That whole lot of something about nothing was actually the deck plus the Jokers. So welcome aboard. This is it. We're chugging along. It's getting well into July now, and of course summer is just way too short an event. We all wish it were longer. It's getting pretty much I wouldn't say it's getting long in the tooth. It's bustling into its prime at this point, I would say. But even still, just the fact that it's in its prime, you can't help but look over your shoulder. You know, I guess I'm sort of that age myself. I'm not neither young nor old. I'm just me. You know, you just hit that point where you realize you got all these people that consider you younger than them, and all these other people that consider you to be older than them. I don't think anybody really looks at somebody my age as being old, and I don't think anybody really looks at somebody my age and thinks of them as being young. Older, maybe. Younger, perhaps. But neither extreme. Don't think that's possible. So I think the summer is in the gym of its life at this point, and we're certainly enjoying it. This episode is a little bit of a different episode for you. We have a little bit of celebration. Get ready, brace yourself for some franglais, or we would say Fringlish. If you speak French, it's okay. You'll have no problems. Et si vous parlez anglais, pas de problème pour vous. We are going to speak some anglais and some French, and we'll have some music. We're celebrating. It's a little bit late, but such is podcasting. Sometimes, people put their Christmas episode out, the first week of January. I say some people, and no. We got our Christmas episode out on Christmas Day last year. But I wouldn't put it past us to do such a thing. Podcasting, we're more just kind of noting something. It's not so much it's not live. It's not real time. If we were doing a webcast or something like that, we would have done something on the 14th, which brings me to this show. We are celebrating the Le 14 Juillet, which is the 14th of July. Juillet being July in French, and 14 being 14. And the reference in the last show was kind of foreshadowing, and I didn't even think about it. It wasn't on purpose. It wasn't deliberate. That little bit at the beginning of the show last time that you heard, I Have No Hamster for You by 14. And some of you, I'm sure, didn't quite know what to make of that. But I was told by one of our listeners, Hope in Ohio, she told me, well, if people don't get it, if they didn't get it, they should go back and listen to it again. Because she was of the opinion, of the sway, that it had merit. And I'm not quite sure if I'm on board with her entirely on that. No. There is something to it. It's not just entire silliness. So it's not. It may be a little Carol-esque. It might remind you a little bit of Lewis Carroll or something. But now, who's to say he was saying entirely, absolutely nothing as well. Like Nostradamus. Maybe Nostradamus was just, searching for the wrong truffles or something, and wrote all these quatrains. Maybe he was trying to say that one day, out of a great land called America, there will emerge a wonderful player of an instrument made by a person named Sucks or Socks or something. And of course, he would have no way. It's like he apparently got Hitler wrong. He called Hitler Hister. So I think he could get the saxophone wrong, and he could call it the French sucks or something like that, as opposed to the French horn or the saxophone. He could get that all mixed up. There will emerge a great player of this bizarre modern instrument called John Quatrain. You never know. That could have been what the whole purpose of all his works were all about in total. He was just trying to somehow fumble around and predict the career of John Quatrain. I'm not sure. Anything's possible. Tout est possible. C'est ça. In this universe, we have beaucoup de possibilités. We have lots of possibilities. And who is the one who will tell us, for example, that the opposite of everything doesn't exist? I would like to meet that non-person. In fact, it would probably take a non-person to do so. And perhaps never the twain shall meet. The people and the non-people perhaps will never ever break bread together. Yes. So, there it is. We're celebrating the 14th of July. A little late, as I said, the 14 Juillet. And that is all about, it's kind of a little, shooting a little volley out for freedom. And not just for freedom, but for people being conscious and taking matters into their own hands. Not just people sitting around with big beer bellies talking about freedom, but people actually kind of putting their backs into it a little bit. And that would be if you go and do a Google search for Bastille. A big event happened in France a while ago. I won't tell you how long. For you who don't know anything about it at all, you just might be really wondering what happened in France yesterday. Well, there was a big jailbreak. I'll put it to you that way. A bunch of people got really, really fed up with, oppressive laws being passed and people having their civil rights, human rights taken away, people being dragged away and tortured, and all these kinds of crazy things happening. Geez, you'd never imagine. How can these things happen? How can people be treated like this? You just can't imagine. And, of course, there's a period of time in which most people are in a state of disbelief. They don't want to believe it. And, no, my neighbor, you must be incorrect. The government would never do these bad things. You are totally wrong. In fact, I think you are animal and should be brought to the concentration camps once they are invented. Well, after a while, those people mellowed because, as the old expression went, they came for the communists, and I said nothing, and then they came for the Jews, and I said nothing, and then they came for the gypsies, and I said nothing, and then next thing they're knocking on your door. So that kind of idea. And so once we get the last crowd on board, once the last crowd came on board, I should say, there was a little bit more of a consensus that things were not going so well. That in fact, the consensus led to a consensus. The fact that things were just not very sensible, and everyone agreed about that. So that's a consensus. We all agree, yes. Which brings me around to another one. I think if we have some people with very, healthy minds, optimistic, open-minded people, not open-minded in the sense that, you just let anything drop into your head. You test things. You're open to possibilities. I think we should get a bunch of these people together who question things. That's my point. And we should form a skeptic tank. I think that would be a great thing to have. Great service to humanity. And I would vote for it in some sort of democracy. No problem. Anyway, so yes, the 14th, the 14 juillet. The whole idea of this episode is just to celebrate a little something. People taking matters into their own hands and kind of fending for themselves a little bit. Saying, here's a joke for you. Why do people in France only have one egg for breakfast each morning? Because one egg is enough. Yes, ha-ha, ho-ho. So the whole idea being people just generally get together, and once they decide that an egg is enough, or enough is enough is enough, then they step up and take matters into their own hands. And we are celebrating that. It's a great big tip of the hat to all you renegades and revolutionaries out there. We stand with you. Godspeed. And please pass the ketchup for the freedom fries. Alrighty. The only last little thing that I would like to mention is I kind of operate on the fly. I don't do show notes, so I'm just here just babbling, and that's what I usually tend to do. As if you hadn't noticed, I want to just mention this Facebook phenomena. What the heck? If you don't know what Facebook is, you're not in the universe. Everybody is on Facebook, and up until a few days ago, I wasn't, or we weren't, but we are there now. We do have a presence. It looks very interesting, I must say. It looks very, very interesting, and it has great future possibilities. Facebook just made its first acquisition. It just bought something called Parakey. If you do a search for Parakey, Parakey, you can see what that's all about. In a nutshell, it is, for all intents and purposes, an online operating system that's looking to rival Windows. And it would give you, your sort of virtual desktop with everything, all your various applications and contacts and music and everything that you do on a computer. You would have these options available through the web, I guess, which is not to be confused with the internet. I had a good talk with a good friend of mine the other day about this. People confusing the web with the internet. The www thing, which is the World Wide Web, is kind of one little room in a hotel, which is the internet. But sometimes people exchange the terms they say on the web, which they're really actually trying to say on the internet. But I do digress, yes. What was my point? Facebook, yes. They've just bought out Parakeet, so that's looking very interesting. So if you haven't checked it out, go on over to facebook.com and just give it a look. If you are on Facebook, feel free to add me as a friend. Just Jim Fidler, Fidler. And also, you can do a little search under groups for Republic of Avalon Radio. We have a group over there, and it's growing. And it's very interesting, the possibilities. I won't get into it. I'm not trying to give any sort of a sales pitch. I'm just kind of giving you a little report on something that we're kind of sticking our toe in, some water that we're sticking our toe into, and it looks quite interesting. I think it beats MySpace. Some people may feel differently about that, die-hard MySpace people, but it certainly looks like it has, to me, more of a future than something like MySpace. But of course, MySpace has room to evolve as well. That's it. So Facebook, yes, you can add me as a friend. Lillian's on there as well, and feel free to add her to your list of friends. You can consider us friends here at The Roar. So this week, this episode, I usually say this week, we started out with the intention of doing a show a week religiously, and it just got to the point of what's the point? There was no point. If we didn't really have anything to report or to share, what was the point in just whacking a show out just for the sake of it? And the other side of it, of course, was if we were busy and had other things going on, what was the point in letting this labor of love turn into a complete pain in the back, and let it stress us out and all that stuff? So we decided against it. So here we are. This episode, celebrating the Le 14 Juillet, we are going to be playing a bunch of music, almost all of which I had something to do with, as from the perspective of a producer, or musician, whatever. Some friends of mine will be hearing a song from my friend Lekbir, Halili, from his solo record, his first solo record, a song called Mina. I know. We'll also be hearing from Lise Hanick, which you've heard on the who you have heard on the Roar before, and Colleen Power, of course, a good friend of Republic of Avalon Radio, and a little bit of something from her most recent CD, and a little something older that her and I worked on together a few years ago. What I'd like to start out with here now is there is a song that my good friend Thierry, Artur, from Saint-Pierre, a little something that I kind of helped him out a little bit with it, added in some instrumentation and just kind of pulled the mix together, and that ended up on a compilation that was released in Saint-Pierre in what year? Maybe, when was that? 2005 maybe? I don't know, the passing of time is such a bizarre thing. It's hard to keep track of. And also, him and I, along with Lekbir, did this Musaik CD, which is available at jimfidler.com. So race over there and buy it. Yes, go. We're not getting anything in the tip jar either. The whole PayPal thing is not panning out. And I just got a notice yesterday that my Libsyn account is being cut off. So when I finish this show now today and I go to upload it, I might not have an account to upload it to. And in that case, you are not hearing me now. Obviously, you are hearing me now, so we figured out some way. But your support is greatly appreciated. If you enjoy what you hear, you know, just the cost of doing this, it's not just monetary. But there certainly is monetary cost. Just the bandwidth and the storage space and the maintenance and the hard drives that have to store all these files. It costs us money, and money that we're not getting paid by anybody. We have no sponsors, anything like that. And of course the time and the effort as well, which we supply freely. We're more than glad to get this out to you. But that being said, if you enjoy what you're hearing, please do go over to republicofavalonradio.com and click on the PayPal button and show us your appreciation, your support. The other side of it is go to jimfidler.com and just help us spread the music around. That way you get something for you get to show your appreciation, and you also get something in return. Some of you don't want anything in return. You consider the shows to be something you get in return. That's fine. And for those of you who might be thinking, well, I already have all those CDs anyway. Well, if you have them and you like them, spread them around. Get more, and they make great gifts, as they say. In any case, yes, let's start out with the music here. This is, first of all, like I said, my friend Thierry Artur, a song that he wrote called Grandpere, and I played some instrumentation and did some instrumentation and mixing and things on that with him. It's primarily his piece, but I'm right there side by side with him. And before that, let's start out right now with a song some of you may know. It's a bit of a traditional song called Vive la Rose, done Newfoundland style. This is somebody who unfortunately isn't with us anymore. Absolute spirit of a man, absolute character, as we say here. Somebody who was un vrai Terre-Neuvien, certainement. Pas de problème avec ça. Definitely a true Newfoundlander. I first met him sometime in the 80s. And even just the first time I met him, he made an impression on me. So he's one of those people I don't feel is gone anywhere. And to prove that, let's start out by listening to Vive la Rose by Emile Benoit. And encore une fois, bonne fête, joyeux 14 juillet. And you're listening to Republic of Avalon Radio.
Mon reine m'amène d'aller, on dit on vive la rose. Mon reine m'amène d'aller, on dit on vive la rose. J'irai peut-être pas ce soir, vive la rose dans les villages. J'irai peut-être pas ce soir, vive la rose dans les villages. Elle va s'en voir une autre, on dit on vive la rose. Elle va s'en voir une autre, on dit on vive la rose. Je le sais qu'elle reviendra, vive la rose de les villages. Je le sais qu'elle reviendra, vive la rose de les villages. On dit qu'elle est très belle, on dit on vive la rose. On dit qu'elle est très belle, on dit on vive la rose. Mais il y a plus belle que moi, vive la rose de les villages. Mais il y a plus belle que moi, et vive la rose de les villages. On dit qu'elle est malade, on dit on vive la rose. On dit qu'elle est malade, on dit on vive la rose. Peut-être un amoureux, vive la rose de les villages. Peut-être un amoureux, vive la rose de les villages. Oh, si elle mourt dimanche, on dit on vive la rose. Oh, si elle mourt dimanche, on dit on vive la rose. Lundi, on l'enterra. Vive la rose du village. Lundi, on l'enterra. Vive la rose dans les villages. Mardi, je viens au bois. On dit on vive la rose. Mardi, je viens au bois. On dit on vive la rose. Mais moi, n'en voudrais pas. Vive la rose dans le village. Mais moi, je n'en voudrais pas. Vive la rose dans les
Grand-père se balance dans le rocking chair. C'est un peu comme quand il naviguait vent arrière. Les souvenirs lui reviennent comme une houle lourde. Et ses yeux bleus qui percent peuvent moudre le silence.
Grand-père se balance, il sait qu'il quittera la terre. Il murmure en souriant qu'après toute sa vie, c'était la mer. Grand-père sort d'oncle l'accordéon, gonfle le grand comme les nuages, fait échaler le son comme les empreintes éclatées au visage. Grand-père sans balance, grand-mère dit qu'il est fou, qu'il voit pas ce qu'on en pense en savourant son je m'en fous. Les souvenirs le bercent comme une houle lourde, et ses yeux bleus qui percent peuvent moudre le silence.
Republic of Avalon Radio.
Radio for lazy people who don't want to do nothing.
You're with the roar!
Alrighty, here we are, just about to embark upon another one of our little journeys, which we tend to welcome you on with us. Oh, it's a bit breezy out here tonight. No, it's not that. I'm thinking about the recording aspect of things. Okay, folks, let's hope we don't have a lot of wind noise. See, broadcasters don't talk about that. That's the difference between a broadcaster and a podcaster. The broadcaster would just do this. I've heard some pretty ratty interviews, just because sometimes you just can't help it. If you want to talk to that head of state or that skateboarder or that whoever, that person on the street, that vox populi, you have no option. You can't get them in a quiet studio somewhere. What the heck?
What was that?
That was me. I'm beeping. What's going on? Yeah, so you can't always drag them into the studio. NPR is pretty fanatical about that, apparently. The whole idea of getting you into the controlled environment, getting you into the padded cell, as it were, and doing the interview. But I have heard, from just about everywhere, BBC, CBC, ABC, NBC, all the things with BC at the end, except for Vancouver. I have heard some really bad stuff, really distorted levels and wind blowing in the mics, and actually I'd say not as much the wind. I have heard that though, but the distorted level thing I have heard more of, because a lot of these correspondents have these very nice big fluffy looking windscreens, and they do the job. They're not screens as much as they are, what the heck do you call them? Wind dusters, I suppose. And that really does a good job. So, anyway, my point is, they would never talk about that. They would never say, well, here we are in New York City talking with so-and-so. This is Joe Smith reporting for blah, blah, blah. And sorry, you guys, about all the wind noise on my microphone. You just never hear that. A broadcaster would never say that. But no, there is a technique. There is a thing to it. It's just like using a mic. Any of you who sing would know that for sure. You would know that either you've now gained some proficiency with using a mic and you recall a time when you didn't have it, or perhaps you might even still be new and have only sort of sang into a microphone a couple of times at some sort of a open mic session or something, and you know darn well that you could certainly do something to improve your chops and the mic technique. And while we're on that issue, why don't I give everyone a little tip on mic technique? This is an easy one. You know, you hear all this stuff about leaning back from the mic and leaning into it and all these things. Here's a tip for you. If you find yourself in one of these situations where you're getting up somewhere and there's a sound man or woman, more sound men. You seem to, although it is hard to find a sound man these days, according to the ladies and some of the men, I guess. But that's a whole other issue. So go get a tissue. Yes. So you just kind of wink at the sound man, acknowledge his presence, let him know that you know he or she exists, and you get up. And here's what you do. It's very simple. You get your lips right up on that mic. If it's something like an SM58, a Shure SM58, your standard kind of microphone you've seen everywhere. In fact, if it's light enough and you can see it says Shure, you can't quite be sure that it's a Shure SM58. Could be a Beta 58, could be a 57. Although a 57 is flat on the top, and the SM58 is more rounded, and I can't turn myself inside out and shield the mic from the wind that's coming in the opposite direction. So I have to apologize there, folks and folkettes. Yes, so if it is an SM58, some mics this isn't going to work as well with, but the most common mic you'll find anywhere you go is a Shure 58. And the best thing to do with those things is just get your lips right up against that sucker and sing. And heave it out of you. Just let it go. Don't hold nothing back. And as long as the sound man, chances are you'll be okay anyway. If you notice that you're blowing the lid off the place by doing that, then just lean back a little bit. But don't start the other way. Don't start way off the mic and start singing and way off in the distance. Get right up on that sucker and start singing. If you find it's a bit too loud, then slightly back off. That way, generally, you will have a better chance of being heard in the room, sounding much better, and it might even be just the little thing that gives you that edge if you're trying to win some sort of little prize or whatever at your local pub, getting up and doing the Wild Rover or whatever you're up to, or a bit of Shakira or whatever, it doesn't matter. You can definitely have an edge over somebody who's singing a foot away from the mic, and they might even be singing 10 times better than you, but nobody heard it. So there's my mic tip of the episode. And this episode is, as I mentioned earlier, the big 5-5er. Correct. And I have Lillian here. I'm not just walking down the street by myself here. Talking to myself.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, now I got a rock in my sandal. It's gone now.
That was a very good tip.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, and everybody who received it was most welcome as well.
Yes. Well, I have my flashlight with me tonight.
Oh, do you?
Mm-hmm.
What's the deal on that?
Well, it rained today a lot.
Did you duct tape it to your head?
The minor.
Yeah, we're on our way to the pub, folks, and I'm a bit concerned now because they don't admit minors.
Well, I was afraid there might be snails on the side.
No problem.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought there might be snails on the sidewalk, and there are. Because after it rains.
I actually twisted my ankle in a parallel universe. No, it must have been a perpendicular universe. Because if it were parallel, then both ankles would be fine.
Or both wouldn't.
Exactly.
Yes. So.
Sorry, continue.
Oh, that's okay. I was just explaining why I had the flashlight. Oh, see, there's a big slug. So you don't want to tread on those because it would be really horrible for both us and the slug.
More so for the slug, I'd say.
Probably more so, yeah. Definitely. That's life-shattering for the slug. Kind of icky for us.
Life-ending for the slug.
Yeah. So we're gonna have it's save the slugs night.
Save our slugs.
The little sluggers.
Yes. They are also slack.
And slimy.
They have slackness and sliminess as well, yes.
Slimy is a funny word to say, isn't it, really?
It's sort of slimy, even to say, isn't it?
Yeah. It has that feel to it.
Kind of slimy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We can move on from that now.
Okay. No
from
more
that from that slimy topic.
Okay. So
it's a beautiful night.
It really is. It's absolutely beautiful.
In the Republic of Avalon.
Yes, because it's been very, very warm here lately. And it's nice. It's nice, not cool, but nice temperature. Like the breeze is just a perfect temperature.
Yes. Il fait beau.
Il fait beau.
Dans la République.
Dans la République.
Yes, that's a very nice very nice Portuguese accent you have there.
Le monde sera un cendrier, le sac à eau dur. Les maladies chroniques. Bientôt le monde va rester dans une boîte. Une boîte en plastique. Pas d'humains, pas d'animaux, plus de golf persique. Moi je deviens un numéro sur l'écran d'une boîte en plastique. Le monde sera un gros cachot, les ordinateurs, les produits chimiques. Bientôt le monde va rester dans une boîte en plastique. Pas de maison, pas de bâtiment, plus de boîte de nuit. Moi je deviens un numéro sur l'écran d'une boîte en plastique. Le monde sera un sous-produit, oxyde de carbone. Les substances toxiques. Bientôt le monde va rester dans une boîte en plastique. Pas de terre, pas de ciel, plus de l'air sympathique. Moi je deviens un numéro sur l'écran d'une boîte en plastique. Le monde sera un cendrier, un gros cachot, un sous-produit. Moi je deviens un des millions qui vont aux statistiques. Moi je deviens un numéro sur l'écran entre les mots. Une boîte en plastique.
Bonjour tout le monde, je m'appelle Colleen Power et j'ai juste vous dire joyeux 14 juillet à tout le monde en francophonie et ici à Terre-Neuve. Bonsoir. Chickadee.
and Elijah nearly made a liar out of me. Why are you talking about me? Why are you talking about me? Chickadee.
Hi, good morning, listeners. My name is Junior Paris. I'm an artist from Barbados. You are listening to the Republic of Avalon Radio, madam sir.
How long have you been working on that?
Just this evening.
I see.
Just ce soir.
Juste ce soir.
Just ce soir.
Yes, very good. Lillian amazes me sometimes with her knowledge of the Frank language.
Yeah.
She's quite frank quite often, folks.
I think I'm a little better in German than I am in French. For grasping it, anyway.
I think so. Well, it's very much like English as well. But yeah, she is frank quite often, and as you may have noticed from time to time, we do have a very great degree of difficulty resisting beating around the bush. Yes. Mm-hmm. Either you're with us or you're with the tourists.
Either you're with us or you're with the president.
No, you're either with us or you're with the tourists.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. That's still true.
You know, you have these places that have any place that has a tourist industry. There's always that awareness of the locals that there seems to be a certain kind of a bending over backwards for people who don't live here. Now, part of that is what we call hospitality, and that's great. That's fantastic. Nobody minds any hospitality. Nobody minds that at all. But it's when it gets carried a bit too far, and you find that certain people seem to be getting almost preferential treatment, and locals tend to be looked down upon and things like that. That does happen. I think that's happened in many places, in parts of everywhere, where anywhere a yacht club has been built, or anywhere, I don't know, I think probably Cape Cod went through its period of that. Sure. And what they call cottage country, I suppose, in outside of Toronto. People from the city moving out and just taking the place over in the summer times and so on. And in Newfoundland as well. But the thing about that is, that expression is supposed to cover that. You know, if you come to visit, we want to make you very, very welcome. And so much so, in fact, that we tell you, listen, either you're with us or you're with the tourists. So
that's a good slogan.
Yeah, you can go hang around with a camera over your neck, spending your whole time on a bus.
I like that.
Or you can, get off the bus. Don't cause no fuss.
Get off the bus.
Don't cause no fuss. And have a pint with us.
Well, I think we should make T-shirts.
Yeah? Either you're with us or you're with the tourists?
Yeah.
Well, how much do you want to bet now somebody get their nose bent out of shape over that? What do you mean? What do you mean about that?
I don't know. Do people who are actually traveling want to be called tourists?
Many do.
Many do?
Yeah, many do.
So. I suppose. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Just,
No.
But I suppose for myself, I prefer not to go under the label tourist.
Well, what if you are one?
Well, a tourist. Well,
You are one who is on a tour.
true. I guess it just.
On fait un tour de quelque place. You're making a tour of
Tourist.
someplace.
Yes, this is true. This is true.
Oh, I heard one, just picking up on our language, kvetching, from, was it last episode or the one before that?
That was the one before, I think.
Okay.
That was the podcast about nothing?
Yeah.
Yes. Which ended up being about stuff.
It's a whole bunch of nothing.
Yes.
A whole bunch of nothings, actually. So 0, plural.
Yeah.
Okay. I heard one, I can't remember exactly what the word is, but the equivalent, I can give you an example of it. I heard somebody on a radio advert saying something, and I can't even remember what they were advertising, but he said something like, he used the word like finger. He didn't pronounce the G. He said finger. And it just struck me so funny. He was saying, this is Dr. McAvoy, and I can help you with all your problems. You just call me and I'll fix you up there. So you just take your finger and dial your finger. And I was like, finger? That finger, isn't that it?
Maybe he was thinking of put your finger in the ringer.
Put your finger in the ringer. Well, that's my whole point that I'm about to get to. Exactly, because, get this, folks. Why do we say, finger?
Yes.
And why is it when a bunch of people who are quite comfortable going around, why is it that people wag their finger at people for saying singer?
That's right. Yeah. Well, that is weird, isn't it?
It's very weird because when you think about it, it's yet more proof that the English language is the most inconsistent language on the planet. And any of you people listening, les francophonie, or whatever, les Deutsch. There you go. I'm showing my roots there now. Alsace. But anyway, the thing is, the rules in English, there's more. We have more exceptions than we do rules in English.
You almost need a whole other book for exceptions.
Well, you do. I mean, if you look at, you go to anywhere where languages are studied, and you look at, say, for example, the grammar exceptions in French or in German or whatever. We have rules in German and in French, and then we have a short list of exceptions. But English tends to just have a whole bunch of rules that are actually, I don't know. Yeah. They overlap, and then really by definition they're exceptions, and it's crazy.
It makes it very complicated.
Especially if you're not a native English speaker and you have to learn English as a second language.
Wow. I mean, it's got to be very confusing.
Yeah. So how would you know whether to say finger and singer or singer and finger? How would you know that?
You wouldn't, unless you either memorized or you would need to spend some time.
But even if you do memorize it, you're not going to be right, and not everyone's going to agree with you. You go around saying Hey, you know, Joey, he's a great singer. Everyone's going to remark on the fact that you're going around. The G is, it's all small s, small I, small n, capital G, small e, small r kind of thing. Which leads me to the next thing. A friend of mine from a long, long time ago, and her name was at the time, and perhaps I think pretty sure still is, Vicky Davis, in reference to the drummer of the Beatles. What do you think she called him?
Ringo?
Ringo, exactly. Now, this to me, when I first heard her say that,
That's really true.
Mina, Mina, combien de temps, hey, Mina, 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 tu portes tout, hey, Mina, 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 la mer du monde en 9 mois et 1 seconde. Mina, Mina, combien de temps, hey, Mina, 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 tu portes tout, hey, Mina, 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 la mer du monde en 9 mois et 1 seconde. Trop de blabla ces mecs-là, qu'ils soient d'ici ou de là-bas. Trop de blabla ces mecs-là, qu'ils soient d'ici ou de là-bas. Ils t'en fait du mal, du mal, du mal. Mina, Mina, oublie ta famille, tes amis. Mina, Mina, tu passes des nuits cloîtrées toute seule. Mina, Mina, la tête basse et les yeux qui brillent. Il en a marre, épuisé de croire. Mina, Mina, le mariage aigre et la vie banale. Mina, Mina, comme tu juges du matin au soir. Mina, Mina, des nuits de souffrance et de l'homme ta peur. Que Dieu te protège et changera tout ça. Mina, Mina, combien de temps, hey, Mina, 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 supporte tout, hey, Mina, 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 la mer du monde en 9 mois et 1 seconde. Trop de blabla ces mecs-là, qu'ils soient d'ici ou de là-bas. Trop de blabla ces mecs-là, qu'ils soient d'ici ou de là-bas. Ils t'en fait du mal, du mal, du mal. Mina, Mina, oublie ta famille, tes amis. Mina, Mina, tu passes des nuits cloîtrées toute seule. Mina, Mina, la tête basse et les yeux qui brillent. Il en a marre, épuisé de croire. Mina, Mina, le mariage aigre et la vie banale. Mina, Mina, comme tu juges du matin au soir. Mina, Mina, des nuits de souffrance et de l'homme ta peur. Que Dieu te protège et changera tout ça. Hey, t'as lavé mes chaussettes? Où sont mes chaussettes là? Regarde, il y a le petit qui pleure là, change-moi tout ça. Hey, t'as pas préparé à manger? Oh! Hey, oh, oh, oh. Hey, hey, résiste! Mina, Mina, oui, ta famille, tes amis. Mina, Mina, tu passes des nuits cloîtrées toute seule. Mina, Mina, la tête basse et les yeux qui brillent. Il en a marre, épuisé de croire. Mina, Mina, le mariage aigre et la vie banale. Mina, Mina, comme tu juges du matin au soir. Mina, Mina, des nuits de souffrance et de l'homme ta peur.
c'est Lekbir Halili de Benimellal au Maroc. Vous écoutez Republic of Avalon Radio.
This is the All India Radio. Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru.
Friends and comrades, the light has gone out of our lives and there is darkness everywhere. And I do not quite know what to tell you and how to say it. Our beloved leader, Bapu as we called him, the father of the nation, is no more.
law of truth and love.
Republic of Avalon Radio.
Either you're with us or you're with the terrorists.
You're with the roar!
So what were we talking about? Finger and...
Finger and Ringo.
Oh, yes, Ringo.
Ringo.
Excuse me. I think I might have mentioned this one way back somewhere in episode, I don't know, 11 or something. So, you run the risk always when you marry somebody or you start listening to their show. You run the risk of repeat jokes and repeat stories and things, and we really do our best, folks, not to sort of tell the same joke every week and stuff like that. Even though I only have about 3. But I try to change them each time. So whether it was a man in it before, I'll put a woman in it. It was in Spain before, I'll change it to France. If the punchline was at the end, I'll put it at the beginning. Stuff like that. Change it around. Change a bunch of the verbs and nouns and things like that. Maybe that's why they don't often seem very funny.
You came up with a really good one, or a few good ones this week, and I can't remember any of them.
Me neither.
Should keep note of it.
Oh, hang on. I had a shield. Now we're going face into the wind here, folks. And we're crossing over by where Big Bite used to be.
You come up with jokes just like that. Unless you're thinking about them and I don't know, but you just come up with them like out of nowhere.
Quite often when I'm waking up, I'll rhyme off a spiel of about 18 of them in a row.
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Yes, you talk sometimes when you're not really conscious.
Do you hear the secrets that I keep?
I do. Even though I don't really know what you're saying.
When I'm talking in my sleep. Okay, so Ringo. We're trying to do the Ringo thing here. So anyway, this good friend of mine, Vicky Davis, she called this person Ringo. And I just thought it was funny at first. Until I got to thinking about it. And it occurred to me... Oh, more wind. Okay. It occurred to me that this was quite a reasonable sort of pronunciation. Because, the thing you put on your finger, or your finger, is a ring. Or is it that the thing you put on your finger is a ring? Now, because I would change it, then it suddenly becomes Ringo. If you're putting a ring on your finger, then the drummer is Ringo. But if you're putting okay, now here's the point, see, folks. This is the most common thing, I think. The most common usage would be you put a ring on your finger. So the drummer of the Beatles should be known as Ringo. Or else Ringo. Ringo, as in Ringo. Tin,
yeah.
Rin.
Like ringer. That's different again, though.
Well, it is, yes.
Ringer. Yeah, it's completely different again.
It is, sure. Ringer.
And
Singer.
And Ringo.
Yeah, well, not Ringo. That would be R-I-N-G for ring and then G-O for go. Ringo.
Right.
But his name is Rin, R-I-N, and then G-O, go.
Ringo.
So it's really, if you look at the spelling of it, it should be either Ringo or Ring-O.
Right.
So I think she was absolutely spot on. Vicky, you were spot on.
Anyway, it's a crazy name.
It's a crazy world. Oh, but you.
Wait, is that his real name, Ringo?
No, of course not.
What's his real name?
His real name, Richard Starkey.
Oh. And did he? I wonder
Dick
how
Stocky.
he came upon the nickname Ringo.
Ringo? I have no idea. I think he was kind of into like all the kind of cowboy stuff and kind of into a bit of country music and at the time, you know, kind of maybe a bit of Buck Owens and this and that, I think.
All right. So he wasn't like into the phone company or something.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't a telephone man or anything like that. No, he was a drummer playing with another group around Liverpool, who I think were possibly a bit better established than the Beatles at the time. And of course, the drummer wasn't cutting it at the time, according to the cats at the studio. So they got Ringo to join. They got another drummer, excuse me, to come in for a couple of sessions. And of course, then they had to replace the drummer, and they asked their good friend who played with this other band. I forget the name of the other band now, right off the top of my head. I used to know it. I would recognize it if I heard it. But it was one of these kind of names, you know. It wasn't anything all that special. It was something that kind of the somethings or something like that. But yes, Ringo then became one of the Prefab Four.
Yes, and yeah, his life changed.
Yes.
Big time. He hit the big time.
Fräuleins and gentlemen, here is the Beatles. Herr, Miss und Frau, Mädchen.
Are we going to say hello to Ricardo?
Hassenpfeffer. Pardon?
We're going to say hello to Ricardo?
Ricardo Hudo.
Hello.
Hey, Jim.
Hello, what's going on? How's it going?
Hey, good.
We are recording yet again.
Right on.
Yes.
We're shooting the breeze.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a bit of breeze tonight to shoot around.
Yep.
Beautiful down here.
You're very well protected, but out around, like when you're crossing the streets and stuff, it's really breezy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice and protected here.
Yeah.
Are you having a good night?
Yeah, I'd say about $30 in 2 hours.
That's not bad.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
That's better than a poke in the eye, as we say.
Yeah. All right on.
Cool.
So what are you up to tonight, Jim?
We're just shifting down the street and enjoying a bit of nice weather. And gee, it's humid though. I mean, it's really nice, but it's cool. You know, it's not cold. It's not cool. It's not hot, is what I'm saying. But it's sticky.
Oh yeah.
It is. Yeah.
It's very much.
Very sticky.
I think anybody from, say, the Bay Area, San Francisco or whatever, would completely recognize this air, exactly what it feels like.
Yeah.
And the streets, too. The streets of San Francisco. You know, all those big hills and everything.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well.
You're in front of some nice paintings and stuff here. It's more baby.
We have nice paintings?
Yeah.
What do we have?
Painting in there of some boats by, it looks like maybe Portugal or
Boats
Spain
by Portugal?
On the beach.
Boats by Portugal?
And little colored fishing boats. It's very pretty.
Colored fishing boats. We're not prejudiced.
With the blue wavy water.
Yeah. And the rocky cliffs.
I guess boats operate on a caste system, don't they?
They do?
Yes.
Oh, yes, they do.
On that note.
On that note, I'll set you guys off with Shania Twain.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
If God was a person, what would he look like? No, sorry.
No few girls thought they were pretty smart. You've been right down to an hour. You think you're a genius, you drive me up the wall. It's regular original. No,
Cheers.
no. See you later, guys.
Okay. If God was a slob, that's what it sounded like to me.
If God was a slug?
A slob.
Oh.
No, whatever that song is, I can't
was,
remember.
yes, if God was one of us, just a slug.
What if God was one of us? Yeah, that one. Just a stranger on the bus, just a slob like one of us, trying to make his way home like a Holy Roman phone.
That would be Bob, wouldn't it?
like a goy that says shalom.
Oh did you hear that?
What?
That was the Stetson.
Stetson. Yeah. Did I hear what though?
The music they were playing.
Well, I heard music. I didn't hear what it was though.
I don't know. It was heavily country.
Very countrified. Yes.
Yes.
Which country though?
Well, I guess it would probably be the U.S.
Probably be America, and probably the south to the west.
Yeah, I think so.
See, they say country music.
Playing.
I mean, it could be Switzerland, could be Hong Kong.
It's vague, really, isn't it?
It's very vague, yes. Could be any country.
Country music.
All I know is that cross-country skiing is great if you live in a really small country.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. Uh-huh. Yes. So, as I was mentioning earlier, we've got the Facebook thing happening.
Oh, yes.
And everybody is welcome to join us, or to add us as your friends on Facebook. And if you're not a member of Facebook, you might want to go check it out. It's free and it's a lot of fun. You can actually run into people that you thought you'd never encounter again in your life, and be happy to do so. And or it just could be an easy way to kind of
Hi, how are you?
get people in order. Hey, how's it going?
Howie Southwood.
Yes, how
How
are
are
you,
you, buddy?
How's it
Good to
going?
see you, yeah.
Good.
Hi, how are you?
We're just recording. We're in mid podcast here.
Oh, good. Yeah. Oh, you're recording. So
Yeah.
you've got me on tape.
You're on, yes.
So you're just, we were just down here, Ron Hines. Yeah, Ron was good, as usual.
So a big shout out, I guess, to the peeps from Howie Southwood.
Yeah, exactly.
All over the world.
Ron dedicated. I love the Rose and Thistle. There's no dance floor, but people dance anyway.
Yes,
so
that's right.
You don't need a dance floor.
Yeah, and it's snug too. You're kind of.
No, it's tight in there.
Yeah.
It's tight in there.
Everyone's not all sort of coldly spaced out. When you're in there, kind of having a dance, you're kind of more like a group than paired off.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's great to hear Ron.
Yeah.
And it's good to see you guys. Yeah.
Are you just home for a holiday?
Just 5 days. We're just here for 5 days. Yeah.
Well, you're going to have to check out our podcast, because that's a little piece of home for you while you're.
So we have to. Is that like an email thing?
It's an
like
internet thing. It's on the internet. Yep.
Okay.
I'm really.
But it's free.
I'm not there.
So what's the address?
How do we get in
It's republicofavalonradio.com.
Okay, Republic of Avalon Radio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, we can remember that.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you the best way to remember it is we call it the Roar, because it's ROAR, Republic of Avalon Radio.
Okay.
So
well, let's see. We'll remember that.
You can rant. You can rant and roar.
All right.
We're going after the Fat Cats.
Okay.
Have a good evening.
Enjoy yourselves. Take care.
I am Lise Hanick from France, and you're listening to Republic of Avalon Radio.
J'entends les klaxons qui résonnent. Moi je me sens à part, pas concerné par l'histoire. Oh, comme c'est étrange, sensation de malaise. Quand pour les uns la victoire fait naître en d'autres le désespoir. Non, je n'aime pas cette idée du malheur des uns qui fait le bonheur des autres. Cruelle vérité du malheur des uns qui fait le bonheur des autres. Non, je n'aime pas cette idée du malheur des uns qui fait le bonheur des autres. Cruelle vérité du malheur des uns qui fait le bonheur des autres.
cette histoire. Là je suis seul, j'entends le cri des pseudo-vainqueurs. Je me sens irréel, déconnecté de leur bonheur. Non, ils ont acheté leur place de spectateurs. Pourtant je sais qu'ils n'en sont pas les acteurs. Mais ils oublient que seuls les joueurs, non ils oublient que seuls les joueurs, seuls les joueurs portent en eux leur peur. C'est les foot maniaques, foot maniaques, foot maniaques, foot maniaques, foot maniaques, c'est les foot maniaques. Attention. J'entends le klaxon qui résonne dehors dans la ville, que le peuple inonde. J'ai une pensée pour ceux qui sont aux premières loges. Tant de gloire méritée, non, on ne tarit plus d'éloges. Mais les pseudo-vainqueurs ont acheté leur place de spectateurs. S'accaparent la victoire et se saoulent. On les appelle supporters, enivrés de cette illusion d'être quelque part champions. Ou bien ivres, morts et persuadés qu'ils entrent dans la postérité. Ils ne prennent que le meilleur, pas question d'endurer la douleur. Ils la laissent au bon soin des joueurs et l'angoisse à l'entraîneur. C'est les foot maniaques, foot maniaques, foot maniaques. C'est les foot maniaques, foot maniaques, foot maniaques. Attention. j'entends le klaxon qui résonne quelque part ailleurs. C'est un concert de pleurs. N'importe où dans le monde, dès qu'un homme se réjouit, aussitôt une tombe laisse échapper des cris. Et quand c'est tout un peuple qui s'anéantit, je n'en cache pas qu'il en soit que l'impuissant voyeur réalise un peu à quel prix ce pays doit défendre ses couleurs. Cruel peut se montrer la vie quand il s'agit de sauver l'honneur. Non, je n'aime pas cette idée du malheur des uns qui fait le bonheur des autres. Cruelle vérité du malheur des uns qui fait le bonheur des autres. Non, je n'aime pas cette idée du malheur des uns qui fait le bonheur des autres. Cruelle vérité du malheur des uns qui fait le bonheur des autres. Non, je n'aime pas cette idée du malheur des uns qui fait le bonheur des autres. Cruelle vérité du malheur des uns qui fait le bonheur des autres. Non, je n'aime pas cette idée du malheur des uns qui fait le bonheur des autres. Cruelle vérité du malheur des uns qui fait le bonheur des autres. Food maniac, food maniac, food maniac. 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 Food maniac, food maniac.
And all these little French references, of course, folks, as we mentioned earlier, and as you can tell by the music and everything, the whole crux of this show has been to celebrate the 14th, le 14 de juillet, and of course that's the Bastille. That's the day that freedom broke out, and everything was, at least for a little while, a little better for a lot of people in France. It's when your government starts getting all kind of tyrannical on you and taking away all your liberties and freedoms to keep you safe, and you go along with it, and you go along with it, and you go along with it, and then suddenly enough people start figuring out, you know, oh yeah, sure, yeah, George, yeah, right, yeah, the king is a bad guy, oh yeah, sure he is, well, I saw him kissing babies yesterday, you know, all that stuff. After all that wears off, then the people just kind of bust out and make things right again, and that was part of that whole process. So now, all over the world, and the French-speaking world, and we use the first person plural to include ourselves in that. We acknowledge the le 14, and nous voulons dire joyeux 14 partout, à tout le monde, de Liliane et moi, et j'espère que c'était merveilleux pour vous, bien passé. And I'm just sort of saying a great big happy to everybody, everywhere, and from Lily and myself, I hope that... hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good, boy, good. Just chugging down the road here.
I had a pint of Guinness.
Ah, very good. I think I'm going to go and have to taste the Smittix and see how that's going tonight.
Okay, well, I'm sure that'll go down good.
I'm sure.
Not bad night. It's not too cold. Anyway.
Not bad for local.
No.
It's like I was just saying down the road there, talking to somebody. It's like San Francisco weather.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at I got to tell you a story. I was at Loyola Hearns.
I just got to turn my back half to you here because the wind is blowing in the mic. We're recording, by the way. You're going worldwide here now.
Oh, I was at Loyola Hearns last Sunday night. And,
so keep it clean.
The Lone, I don't know if you heard that new song that he wrote, The Lone Tree.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, but Kevin Evans and Joni were there, and he had the guitars out, and Loyola sang the song, and Kevin played along to it. Oh, it's a beautiful song.
I'd imagine, yeah.
It's beautiful, yeah. It was a great song. I'd like to see someone, love to see someone record it. And Loyola's not, he's willing to.
Are you implying something?
Yes, I am.
Well, tell.
I did. I said, listen, I said.
Mention Loyola to give me a call. I
said I'd like to see Fidler do that one.
I'd be more than happy. If not, you know what I mean. If not necessarily me doing it or whatever, I might be able to be of some assistance in making it possible for Loyola to do it, even
it's
or somebody
else. It's a beautiful
else.
song, and Loyola, I don't think is in it. He wrote it as a tribute, and Loyola, I don't think is in it for the money or anything. But I'd love to see it recorded. I think it's a great song. It's well written. And yeah.
Wow. Well, you should mention that to him.
Am I really on that?
Yes, you are. Republic of Avalon Radio.
Is it?
Listeners all over the world. Yes, sir. You know, this place is on the map in a lot of ways that we don't even know. Really, when you think about it, we think we're out here in the ocean all by ourselves and nobody knows where we are and all that stuff. But it's amazing how many people you run into if you're just walking down the street in Singapore. Someone sees your T-shirt and stops you.
Yeah,
that kind of thing, or whatever. You just never know.
It's all great for us anyway.
Yeah, of course everybody knows about the Newfoundland dogs.
Yeah, that's right.
And everyone knows about Gander. Yeah, my daddy used to be up there in Gander back in 1958. Used to go up there fishing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. All right then, Skipper. Well, we're pretty much here, are we?
We're here.
Oh, we are here.
Yeah.
You're here.
We have arrived.
And you was doing a few tunes there tonight.
Oh, is he? Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Well, that's it, folks. We have Hugh Scott, a good friend of the Roar, playing at the pub tonight. So that should be good. We might as well say so long for now, I guess, eh?
I think so.
All right, and why don't you just tell the folks who you are, where you're from, and just wish them all well. Say hello.
I'm Jim Lawler, and I'm from Renews on the grand old Southern Shore, and I'd like to welcome everybody up to the Southern Shore whenever. Come up and have a look at our little communities up here, and I think you'll enjoy it and enjoy the music and friends. Take care.
And especially with anybody, thanks Jim, especially anybody with any Irish heritage, you'd pretty much be like you're in a part of Ireland you never knew existed kind of thing. That's
Yes, I think so. I feel like we got a lot of Ireland up our way. I mean, I'm sure. I feel it.
Yep.
And I'm going to know it this fall because I'm going to head off to Ireland in September. And
whereabouts? Where to?
We're going to go into Dublin, and then our trip is not really planned after that. We're going to.
You got to go to Cork and Waterford and Wexford up around that area. That's
definitely. We're going to take it in. Yeah.
That's like being around here. Seriously.
Yeah.
Cork is like it's like another St. John's. It really is. And Waterford's like the place that if Fairyland, for example, if Lord Baltimore had stuck around and made something in a place, and it sprung up and got big,
yes,
it would have been. I'd say it would have been, well, not huge big, but I'd say it could be a lot like Waterford today.
Yeah, we're very excited. We're going to take my mom. She's 85 years old, so as a family thing, we're going to take her. She's very excited about it.
And what's your mother's maiden name?
Walsh.
Actually, you know what? Give up that grandeur. When you get over there, your name is Welsh. Exactly. Give that up. Give up that.
There you go.
But does your mother, growing up, did she call herself Welsh or Walsh?
Actually, it was Welsh.
Yes, of course, yeah.
And even when we were younger, we'd all say Welsh.
Yeah. Well, that's the real name.
Yes, yeah.
And of course, the people that bear that name in Ireland have been there for a good spell, but they're originally from Wales.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the whole truth about being pure Irish is pure blarney. As we all know.
That's right.
You know? So there you go. All right, folks. Well, thanks, Jim, for joining us aboard the good ship Republic of Avalon Radio.
Yeah, you got Mr. Hugh Scott there next to you now.
Yep. He's been on the Roar before, singing and all kinds of stuff.
That's right.
All right, folks.
Take care.
Catch you on the other side of the little jingle thing. Let me cue this jingle up here with my super duper little multi-track watch here. Okay, here it comes.
Jimmy Fidler, have you seen John White? Jimmy Fidler, have you seen John White? Jimmy Fidler, have you seen John White? Oh, we gonna run the harbor road to stay all night. Gonna run the harbor, we gonna have a beer. Gonna have a run and get some down here.
Well, that's it for another episode of Republic of Avalon Radio. Comme j'ai dit avant, merci beaucoup à tout le monde pour être ici avec nous. Thank you very much to everybody for being here with us. We hope you enjoyed your ride and that you will join us again in the future. So, from Lillian and myself, take care of each other. And we'll catch you next time, right here on Republic of Avalon Radio.
A Root Cellar production.